Good afternoon, traders, and welcome to a wrap-up webinar. Um, Joseph, I learned more in 4 months than the last 5 years with you. And so, well, I appreciate that, Joseph. Well, traders, it was a wonderful day to trade today. It was yesterday. I called the market to long the open, and today I called the market to short. And I'll kind of give you a little bit why I did that. But today, again, thank you so much, Joseph. But today, we had some really good plays today. Small cap short sellers made a good money. Small cap players did very, very well in here. And a matter of fact, I'll go into a trade that we did 2 times in the chat room, and one I just came back from break. But we had a good list today: MCEP, IDYI, IQ. We traded. I wanted a NKLA, NKLA, and LKLAW on the warrants. I wanted UAL and Royal Caribbean. I took those 2 trades myself. Baidu, Yuri, Boeing, Lulu, and Shop, the Weight Watchers. But for all those that review these, every morning I'm up at 3:30, 4 o'clock. You know, um, and I love what I do. I love what I do, and I have there was I have to tell you, there was a quote today that, I'm going to share with you tonight. It's kind of the essence of what I was going to talk about. I, oh gosh darn it. What was the quote? Success. Gosh darn it. I thought it was going to be up here. Darn it. It was something about success. I have to go find it now. Oh, darn it. Anyway, in other words, it was something about success that if you put in the time that um, the rewards will come, but you have to put in the time to be rewarded. Um, Thanks for stopping me short. Oh, I love that. Very kind of you, Mohammed. Very kind of you. This is Mohammed in our room, MBS, if you want to follow him. So basically, I, my thesis this morning was the market was gapping up, and it was going to gapping up considerably. But we had the Fed that was going to come in. Powell was going to speak to Congress via Zoom, and that was going to last for a couple hours. Now, if you know anything about the market analysis, what's interesting is that when the Fed comes in, he tends to not always say the right things. And so I kind of anticipated that. Plus, I also felt the stocks were gapping up way too much on hope. Again, we were gapping up on hope. And I have a big thing when we trade the markets every single day. Why are we up? I always tell the traders and teach the traders, find out why we're up first so big or so down so big, and then from there we can decide the direction of the market. And so for me, yesterday I called long the market out of the gate. Today I called short the market out of the gate. And I specifically went after 2 trades myself. Okay. UAL was up 4 points. Now, if you know one thing about airline stocks, okay, when they gap up off the market push, I did not think that the market would continue to the upside, not with Powell coming aboard in an hour or two after the open. And I knew investors were going to probably want to sell some of their gap, because if Powell comes in and says anything negative, it will actually, they'll sell it, and they'll sell it 3 or 4 points above before he takes over. Case in point, here's an example. If I give you Baidu, right, and I tell you to short Baidu at 130, which is what I told everyone to do this morning, I call Baidu to 122 to 123. And as you can see, Baidu dropped 7 points to 122, 123. See that? 123. And so if I figured that most of the overnighters were going to dump at the open and take it down 2 to 3, and then Powell's talking was going to take it down to the gap fill I was looking for. And that's how I traded the market today. So with UAL and Royal Caribbean, this is all I did. Okay, this is all I did, and it's probably roughly about 105,000 buying power. Okay, so if you have 30,000 in your account, give or take, 4 times is 120,000 in buying power. You have more than enough. So for Royal Caribbean, I simply just took 1,000 shares short and I just let it fall. Now, I didn't say stay the whole move. I wish in hindsight I could have, but I don't trade hindsight. If I can make a point and a half, traders, that is like $1,500. This drop went from 67 all the way down to 63. Plenty of time to get over 2, 3, 4 points. Even if you chased it, you still made money. UAL, 1,000 shares, 42,500 buying power. From here, just like Royal Caribbean, it fell down from 42 to 40.70. That's 2 points. I grabbed 70 cents of that. 70 cents on 1,000 shares is 700. I took this plus this. I was done, and you can time it in 12 minutes. I told everyone what I was going to do. I told everyone my short position, okay? And then I just cashed out. Now, should I have waited? Of course I could have waited, but I don't trade like that. My goal is to make 1,000, 1,250 a day. I doubled my goal. Why do I need to push the envelope anymore? Right? I trade my list. I knew what I felt. I felt strongly the stocks were going to pull. I executed the trades, and here's the end result. So when you see my tweet in the mid-morning and you ask me, like, wow, you know, and it's not really wow. Um, it's just an execution. Okay, so all I did was I traded Royal Caribbean, UAL, I shorted at the open. There's my $1.40, 140, and there's my 70 cents. That's it. 2 executions. That was my trade. And I was done in exactly 14 minutes. And so what I do every single day is I put a list together of how I feel that, first of all, I have to get a sense before I do anything. How is the market going to trade today? Are we going to pop up and grind up to the upside? Or are we going to pop and grind down to the downside? Right? Once I figure out the direction of the market, then I start to put everything together. All right? The whole puzzle comes together. And so today I wanted to short NKLAW. All right. I also wanted to short, which is the warrant side of NKLA. I figured NKLA and NKLAW were going to sell off. They were both gapping up 5 points here and 7 points here. So I called these to short at the open to 67 and under. And the warrant side, I wanted 26 and under. Now, mind you, these stocks are sitting at $30, $31 a share. But again, I don't care what anybody thinks or their process or thinking. It's what I think. And that's what people pay me for. Tell me what you think. Well, I believe these will sell off just as the others. So I would short the open if you can find shorts. Take it down. Should go to $26 and then cover. If you notice, the stock has stopped, double bottomed at 26. When I called Nicola, I wanted the stock to go initially to $67 a share. This is from 75. If you could have found shorts with 1,000 shares, you would have scored at least 5 points from the opening bell. There's 73, and here's 67. That's 5 points, 6 points, 7 points. At 500 shares, that's 3,500. On 1,000 shares, that's $7,000 in your bank account. Just on this call alone, in literally 27 minutes. Then, if I'm going to short those, I'm going to short Baidu. Now, Baidu is a much more expensive stock, right? So you could play less shares, right? And then I also was going to short, what was the other one? Boeing. Now, if the airlines and the cruise lines are going to short because the market was going to sell off at least halfway around on the gap, Boeing would have been a perfect trade to execute. So on Boeing, I started telling traders to start taking the short. And here's my Boeing call right here, number 10. Take short. I actually tell you the exact entry to start getting in. And I tell the traders allow room to 211. So if you're going to take 500 shares or 300 shares, you have to allow the stock to pop to 211 because shorts may squeeze it. Now, it's not going to squeeze like a small cap stock. and run to 230 or 240. It doesn't work that way. And that's the value of the room. So if you can come in and you take 200 shares short on Boeing, and I'm telling you the stock's going to probably pull down to 196, okay, based on my evaluation and how I see the market today. So in the first 15, 20 minutes, it should yank approximately 10, 12 points to the downside. All right. Now, when Colin Powell started talking, he actually took it even further, which obviously makes me look like a hero. But in essence, I was still just looking from a 209 to 196 to 198 on the pullback. At 300 shares at 5 points, that's $1,500 in your bank account with $60,000 buying power. So if you had an account, let's say at F1 with $10,000, $15,000, they gave you 6 times buying power. That's 90,000. You literally on $15,000, $16,000 cash with the buying power, and you took my call, 300 shares of Boeing at 209. That's $61,000, right? You would have made, and if you would have took that at 300 shares and got 5 points, you would have made 1,500 on your 15, 16,000 in your bank account. Now let's see how Boeing did. And here's Boeing. Ding, 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 ding. There's your short. Boom. There's your there's the first 20 minutes, 30 minutes. So Boeing would have been a perfect execution. Even at 208 or 207, pulling down to 200, that's 7 points. You just needed 5. Okay? Baidu. If you took 300 shares of Baidu with 33,000 buying power, give or take, 39,000 buying power, you would have scored in the first few minutes all the way down to 125. That's 5 points on 300 shares. You could have took 300 shares here, 300 shares here on 120,000 buying power and scored double the amount. All because I let you know before the market even opened how to trade the market today. I didn't tell anyone to long stock. There is not one thing, just like yesterday's notes, there's not one thing I said to short the stock. Today, there was not one iota to tell you to long the stock. Now, you're all looking at this going, oh, that's great. You're awesome. Great. But I can't trade UAL. I can't trade Nicola. It's too expensive. Okay, let's talk about what you can trade then for some of you. How about MCEP? MCEP had earnings. It was up 300%. I think the stock, after evaluating the stock and evaluating the company and reading the report, I determined the value of the stock to be about $4.50 today. What that tells you is that I don't care what the stock is trading at. In my opinion, this will come down to $4.50. So if you want to take 1,000 shares at 9 and just wait for an all-day move to the downside, you can make $5,000 in your bank account. On IDA, I read the report. They signed a deal with GSK. They got $100 million up front, but I felt the stock was worth about $10, $9.50. I still do. The stock is stuck at $12, but it still came down about 4 points. And the last one we did was IQ. On IQ, I felt that stock, based on the information, was worth $22 a share. 22 is what I saw the stock worth. So I told everyone start nibbling short at 27 in pre-market, give it room to add to 28, and look for the stock to come down to 22. So let's take those 3 trades. All right. So here's MCEP and here's IQ. So IQ 27 short came all the way down to 22.50. You see that? So this is you. 500 shares, about 14,000 buying power, which is basically a small account. Cash account was what? 3 grand. 6 times buying power is 18. If you had taken 500 shares and scored 3 points, you would have made $1,500 realistically, Not could have, would have, should have, but realistically, with my guidance in the chat room, it scored all that money. On MCEP, you could have took 1,000 shares short at 8, stops at 850, and took it down at least to 5. I had this going to 450 and it hit 477. On the other one, on IDA, I had the short up here. I called it in the market when the market opened, right there at 16, and it came all the way down to $11.12. I figured I was going to hit my 1050, or my 950, but it just stopped. They grinded it, nothing I can do, and they kind of held it up. And now we're going to go over one last trade before I close out today's webinar. All right. Now, this one card trade wasn't even on my list, but because our room has some of the most talented and most professional day traders that can find these momentum plays, if it catches my eye, this is a really key thing for me in this room, because mostly I'm on the mic and I'm on the screen. It has to catch my attention. If it does, because I have 19 chat rooms that subscribe to our room and use our services to keep their subscribers happy, and you know what 19 rooms you are, okay? They're here every single day. So when I put something on screen provided by the great Raphael or B Trades or Janny or any of the great traders in here, that stock is going to run because so many eyes are in our room. This is the room they come to. Okay, I'm like the daddy. I'm daddy to all these guys out there. All right, I'm 54 years old. I'm not some kid. I've been trading for 15, 16 years. I'm the daddy. They need to hear my voice, see what I see, and they copy and paste, call it out, and everyone's trading the same stock. Look at this one, Oni. This was picked up by Raphael this morning. It was picked up yesterday by Raphael this morning. All right, so this is a 2-day run. Now the stock is running basically on no news. It's just running, right? But this is when you trade these type of stocks, you don't need a reason. You just need to know how to trade them. Because if you don't trade them the right way, this is where you see Twitterville go off. I just lost my account. I shorted at 16 because the guy told me to, and it's at 30. I got margin called. Okay, in our room, we don't do that. This room is designed not to blow your account. Okay, so for us, this morning, the first thing we did was the stock was alerted on the breakout, which is about $758 this morning by Raphael. So from there, we walked it up. I put it on screen. Now, I has already been done. Look at the timeline. All right. He was playing this with a few others in the room while I was doing my UAL quietly in my Royal Caribbean. Right. Once I was done, I shut off the system. And I was done. For me, right, once it caught my attention around $8.50, I was able to put it on screen, and I literally, with the help of Raphael and his guidance, we walked it all the way up to 19, which gave a trader 500 shares, 7 points, $3,500 in their bank account. If you took 1,000 shares and we walked it up, and you handled the halts, because every halt I was saying what the stock was going to do. Then it came down. I take a break every day at 9 o'clock, 9:15. The great dark side, most talented technical trader in the world, he takes over with the great Gianni, top short seller in the world as far as I'm concerned. So they take over the mic. I need a little breather, get some coffee, get some orange juice, get an egg, and chill. So what I did, once I took my break, I came in, and you can watch the timeline. So right here, I came in right here. So I come back from break at 11:30, 11:35, right? Raphael is already letting me know, once again, Oni's momentum. So I told everyone in the room, traders, hold off. When it hits 18, long the stock. The stock is going to 22. you'll see 22.23 with a topping of 25. Okay? So right there, if I was trading and I needed to trade, or I was having a bad day and I needed to get out of it, this is a trade I would have took. I probably would have sized in at 1,000, 2,000 shares and just said, go for it. Because I could see based on the level two where it was going. So it was very easy for me to call out the spots before it even moved. Once it hit 25, okay, I pulled off and I said it was coming down. Now, if you look at the breakout, which you're buying here at 25 again, this is your buying again, right? Now the stock is heading towards 37, 38. There's not there's no rhyme or reason for this, all right? But when you day trade this, all right, I get a lot of people in the room that are new from different rooms. But do I short here? Is this a good short? All right, should I short now? Okay. When you have a momentum stock like Uni, the last thing you need to be thinking about is trying to short the stock. All right. Your mentality needs to be looking and studying the chart. So if it breaks out, Mr. AJ, at 25, it has room to what? 30. If it breaks over 30, AJ, where does it go? 35. If it hits 35 and pulls back to 30, it rips around back to 35, it goes to 40. It can go to 42. And the level two will tell you how to rotate it because each of them have different, and you can watch your sellers here and you can look at the buyer right here. You see it? It's halted because I'm talking to you live on screen. Did you see the buyer there? Did you see him? Right? It was 166,000 at 34.22 right there. And it halted. They want to load this up, right? So they want to take it to 40. But again, if you are in the wrong room and somebody's telling you, yeah, I'd short 17, 18 because it should come down because there's no reason for it to be up. I wish you could come to our room, but you're broke now. You have no more money. So you can't even afford my room. And I don't work for free. But if you were in our room, I would have told you absolutely do not short it unless you want to donate to the stock market because that's all you're going to do. But it's these kind of plays that they can come up anytime, morning, noon, or night. When you're trading in the morning, mid-morning, or mid-afternoon. And if you're having a bad day, but you're in the right room, you literally can make a week's worth of pay by just listening to us. So, David Graham, I walked in the room just now, heard you talking about it. I just made $60 before the halt. And if it unhalts, he'll be at 35 and more. But this is what we do. This is why we're called Awesome Calls. All right. So anyway, that is today's recap. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you made a lot of money because there's a lot of money being made in this market. And tomorrow we're going to do this again. Who knows if Uni's going to be in play tomorrow? But right now, it's a crazy stock. But if you know how to play it, you know, you know how to look at it, you know how to read it. My friend Narin is back. Narin, hi. Yeah, you just signed up again. I love you, Narin. Welcome back. Well, right now we're running Uni right now, but I'm forgive me. I'm leaving in 5-10 minutes. I finished my day early, but good to see you, Narin. Did you sign up back to a monthly again? Good to see you. It's good to see you, brother. Anyway, Narin's a very, very talented trader. Been with us for years and years and years. It's good to see him back. Anyway, so that is today's live webinar recap. I look forward to trading with you tomorrow. If you want to be a part of this great chat room, and we are an amazing team. And let me tell you something. I'm only good as the people that I put myself around. All right. We're a great group of people. We respect each other. We each pretty much understand what the market's going to do. We don't talk over each other. We have so much respect. We each have our own talents. And at the end of the day, we're here to help all 400 plus of you in here. And as we build every day, more and more people continue to come in. Because why? Because we are awesome calls. We spend the time to not only teach you, to hold your hand, all right, but to help you. We're here to make money. We don't talk about the houses we live in or the cars we drive or what we're going to do for the weekend. And here it's business. It's all about you hitting your goals. And if you're not hitting them, then what are we doing so we can help you hit them? If we're doing something wrong, you need to tell us. You need to tell me, you know? But for what we offer, the daily plan, the guidance, I think this room is extremely underpaid, you know? And but to be in our room, it's simple. It's 25 for a day, 197, and 100 for a week. If you upgrade to yearly, you actually on the annual, you get to have 2 hours with me, and you can talk to me. I get to sit one on one with you. I can screen share, and a perfect example is thank you, Mohammed. Appreciate you. A perfect example is a gentleman that you see on Twitter quite a bit. If you're not following him, he's very great to follow. Um, my man, where is he? I'll show it to you right here. My friend Joseph. And today he made 1836. I got to spend time with him on Sunday for an hour with KP, and I really enjoyed my talk with him. And you could just see how he's improved, and he's very now disciplined. He did over 2,300 yesterday, 1,800 today. I just listened to him. I talked to him. I felt what he needed, and look, he's made 4,000 in 2 days. I mean, that's what one-on-ones do for you because it gives me a chance to explore what you're doing wrong or what you're doing right, you know, and what we can do to help you to stay structured because that's really what this is about, being consistent. I don't want the great Joseph to make $5,000 in 2 days or 4,000 and then blow it the next day. That's not what we're about. We're about consistency, right? And that's what these one-on-ones do. And so when that's what this does. And if you sign up for 2 years, you get 4 hours. So they're very, very helpful. Plus, you get all the great stuff that I do, all the guidance and webinars and so forth, and access to secret sauce and everything else. But I think it helps me to just sit and talk to a trader one on one. And that 1 hour that we spend 2 times a year is very vital and very important. Okay. But if you just want to join us for a day, week, or month, there you go. That is awesome calls. I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.